Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a quick beer review. Re-review time. We've been doing these kind of recently. Is so-and-so beer still great? And my man Pete sent me a surprise box of beer, and this was one of the beers that was in it from Toppling Goliath. This is Pseudo. This was one of my early beer reviews, and I remember absolutely being blown away by this beer. Toppling is in Decorah, Iowa. They were a hyped brewery for a long time. I don't know if they're hyped anymore. We've seen some distro here in California with Toppling. I don't know how he got this beer, but he sent it. This is a single hop, 100% Citra Pale Ale. I think it's 5%, 5.8%. So it's been a while since I've had this beer. So curious to see if it's still good. I remember Citra, I've talked about it, my favorite hop of all time. I just remember this beer being mind-blowing. So yeah. Toppling was one of those like breweries like Pseudo, King Sue. I mean, everyone always wanted KBBS. Like, just, yeah, super hyped. So, ooh, we got a little Team Old IPA. This will actually be really interesting to see. This was canned on, let's see here. It's smudged. I think it was canned on Halloween of last year. So we are 5 months in the can, time of recording. Hashtag Team Old IPA. This will actually be cool to see if this beer held up. So let's do it. It is hazy AF. We're using, I found this old Slice and Toppling Goliath glass. I'm trying to use proper glassware. When they did, what was that beer called? King Juiced. That was a fun beer. That was a beer review that Jared and I did together. Just absolutely hammered. But yeah, I figured, I mean, it's the closest to Toppling glassware that I have. But this beer, I mean, it's really hazy, but it's glowing. It looks awesome. And there is a good 3 fingers of super bright white head. It is sudsy foamy. What is this going to be like 5 months in the can? Let's see. I mean, it looks great. It doesn't look, I mean, I don't know what it looks like on camera, but it doesn't look like disgusting. It doesn't look overly like hop cummy. It just looks like a rad glowing hazy beer. So Citra hops. Let's smell this thing. 5 months. This actually, I mean, it smells like orange flesh. It's not crazy like explosive, but it smells really good. Yeah, orange flesh, like sweet tangerines. And there's a nice like crackery, biscuity kind of malty thing. Wow, this beer, I mean, 5 months isn't old. It doesn't smell old at all. Especially for sub 6%, like it's plenty like the aroma it's, I don't want to say intense, but it smells really fucking good. I mean, Citra is oranges. That's what this is. It almost has a little bit of like a creamsicle thing, like vanilla. Smells awesome. Pete, cheers. Thanks, bro. I mean, I would say this beer is not as explosive as it would be, like dead fresh. But even at 5 months in the can, like this is still very like Citra forward. There's so much orange, like orange Julius, without being like too over the top. You can tell this is a pale ale. It's sub 6%. It's not crazy, but it doesn't taste like malty. It doesn't taste stale. It's actually really good. It has this cool, like, I don't know what that is, but it tastes like vanilla to me. I mean, they're not using lactose in this beer, but it almost has like that vanilla sweetness that you get from lactose beers, but tons and tons of fleshy orange tangerine. There's like a tiny bit of like bitterness on the side of my tongue, but this is just like super easy drinking haze that's not over the top. I would love to drink this beer really fresh again. I should see if we get, I haven't seen Pseudo in a long time. But yeah, even the age with this, I mean, we've always joked about Team Old IPA. You don't have to drink beer super fresh. Obviously, like with hoppy beers, you don't want to, you know, age them per se, but this is still really good. I love Citra hop beers though. Like I love like the citrus aspect of Citra. I love all the orange flavors that you get. There's a little bit of like biscuity, bready maltiness, but it doesn't taste like, I mean, if you guys have ever had like super old hoppy beers, they can get like really sweet and really just like, ugh, it's, the hops have faded and it's just malt and it's just not great. Like this is still really, really good. It just goes to show you that hazy beers, I mean, you can have them hang out. They don't have to be super fresh. Obviously, you want to drink them fresh just because you'll get all the flavors out of the hops that, you know, the brewers want you to have. But with hazy beers, if this was like a West Coast style beer, I bet you it would be super malty. Probably, you know, the hops would be gone, but hazy beers, it just goes to show like you don't have to drink these super, super fresh. This is still really, really good. I mean, is this something that's like blowing my mind? No. It would be fun to drink this fresh. It would be fun to drink like King Sue again. I haven't paid attention to Toppling Goliath in years. I think the last Toppling Goliath beer I had, I might have been with Nate, like in Vegas, like 4 or 5 years ago when we drank KBBS. We had Morning Delight and KBBS. That was a fun day. But yeah, this is still really, really good. Fun little throwback. So that's Pseudo Sue from Toppling Goliath. You guys still drinking this beer these days? Is Toppling Goliath still like a thing? I know their stouts probably still get hype and they're probably charging way too much for them, but if this is something that's a shelfie to you guys, you should be drinking it. It's a good showcase of Citra hops. It's a fun, just single hop beer. Like you can kind of get familiar with Citra if you're not familiar with it. I'm glad I got to drink this again. So Pete, I appreciate you. So if you've had this beer, you're a fan, let's talk about it. You still drinking it these days? Is King Sue still good? Talk about that too. So that's it. Appreciate you guys watching. See you soon. Cheers.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these